Well, guys, there's no doubt about it that we are in the woke marketing era. And it's actually kind of been like that for a while. When I was actually putting this video together, I was actually doing a bit of research and I was sitting back and I was thinking, the whole thing with Bud Light, this isn't the first time a company has went woke. Actually, it's been going on. Now, me and Rhodes has said before, after George Floyd, that everything would actually go woke. But however, the wokeness actually even started before that. Definitely. And there has been definitely an attack on men. These companies want to pander to people that don't buy their products. Bud Light is so out of touch with their core customers. They just seem to be pushing another woke agenda to destroy masculinity. These companies do not want men. They want men that just want to identify as women. They want trans people. They hate your guts. So when Dylan Mulvaney became a paid spokesperson for Woke Light, there's a bunch of backlash. And this thing is still in the news. It's crossed over into sports because Dylan Mulvaney is now a paid spokesperson for Nike, promoting women's sports products. Yeah, they couldn't actually go out there and get a woman. They had to get a biological man because apparently men are just better at everything, including actually being women. Now, Dylan Mulvaney is a fully intact biological male, has a flat chest like a biological male. Dylan Mulvaney is grifting. And I'm pretty sure that Nike, Woke Light, they're paying Dylan Mulvaney a whole bunch of money, and it's insulting to women. Because a real woman that actually can give birth, by the way, they should be sitting back and saying, you know what, hold on. I spent my whole life as a woman. I'm working hard to achieve greatness. But yet, these companies like Woke Light and Nike, they go out there and get a biological man who has been celebrating, quote unquote, 1 year as a woman. Now, I'm not exactly sure how old Dylan Mulvaney is. I'm probably thinking, somewhere around 24, 25, somewhere around there, somewhere in the 20s. Let's just put it like that. This guy knows nothing about being a woman. And I thought that these woke companies actually want to uplift women. But in reality, guys, they really don't. They just want to bring women down. So now, guys, Woke Light, they actually have one of their executives coming out and pretty much saying, that, hey, masculinity is a bad thing. Now, Bud Light used to be marketed towards men because men were the target audience of a Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. But now that's not the case. And that's kind of disturbing here because this is definitely going to hurt their sales. And also people are rejecting Woke Light. And that may actually cause hardworking people to lose their jobs. But Anheuser-Busch does not care. So we have a video here of this executive going after pretty much masculinity, frat boys, that kind of thing. Said it is out of touch. They don't want men to be men. And this is the problem with wokeness. Wokeness always targets men. Men are to blame for everything. This is the way they actually do think. This is the left-wing propaganda that's being pushed out there. So we're going to be diving into that in this video, guys. First, go over to blackandwhitenetwork.com. We have exclusive content over there. We also have memberships available as well. They just start at $5 per month. Just go over to the members tab and you can get access to our uncensored live streams that we actually have every Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We don't actually stream it through YouTube, but if you do join, you can actually just become a member on the website. Or if you don't want to do that, just click the join button here on Black and White Network. Just starts at $5 a month. Every single Friday, me and Rhodes actually allow people to come on that are actually silver members of the website directly on the panel. So that is an exclusive just for getting a membership on the website. But if you don't want to do that, just grab membership on the website or right here on the channel just by clicking the join button. So that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get back into this. Bud Light executive openly admits to erasing beer's frat guy image in favor of inclusivity, promoting Dylan Mulvaney. Yeah, guys, how many actual trans people, and I don't believe for a second that Dylan Mulvaney is actually trans, but how many trans people are actually in America? What is the percentage of the population that is actually trans? Now, if you probably have been paying attention, you may be thinking, you know what, it's probably like half of the country, because that's the way the media is actually pushing this thing. These woke politicians, they're out there doing that. No, true trans people only represent roughly like 0.5% of the population, and it is a mental illness. Because if you got man parts, guess what? You're going to be a man. If you have female parts, you're going to be a female. There's only two sexes, regardless of whatever these woke corporations and left-wing people actually tell you. No, there's only male, there's only female. That's science. That's been in the books forever. I mean, you can go back, 30,000 years. Man knew what a woman was, and man knew what a man was. But now wokeness is making people question what is a man and what is a woman. Politicians are out there actually doing this. Ketanji Brown Jackson, when she was actually getting confirmed for the Supreme Court, she couldn't answer what a woman was. She knew it, but however, she had to stick to the Democrat playbook and not offend the T's. Yeah, this is the crazy world that we're actually living in right now. But let's go ahead and read some of this, guys. And we're going to play the clip. It says here, and this is from Alejandro Avila on Outkick, men now represent the opposite of Bud Light's target audience, says the company's VP of marketing. In a shocking admission, a recent interview on the Make Yourself at Home podcast shows Bud Light's vice president of marketing, Alyssa Gordon Hindershed, stating that the brand's focus is no longer to cater to frat boys, to promote inclusivity. The VP made it abundantly clear that her first objective as head of marketing was to radically rebrand the Bud Light demographic as part of Bud Light's push for inclusivity. Now, here's the thing, guys. It's a beer. If you actually want a beer, you can actually just go to the store and buy a beer. Who is actually keeping any trans people from actually buying a Bud Light? Nobody. So they're using this term here, inclusivity, to make it seem like trans people or other people, minorities probably too, because they like to throw all minorities in with the LGBT agenda to make it seem like, hey, this product was never for you. That's not the case. I've had Bud Light many times in the past. I don't really drink anymore, but when I was in college, yeah, I had Bud Light, Budweiser, Schonebach, I had all these beers. No beer was discriminating against anybody. I mean, that's just a lie right there. But this is the kind of clown world that we actually are living in right now. Let's go ahead and play this clip here. You can see here from Clay Travis, holy shit, Bud Light's head of marketing who probably doesn't even drink beer, says she had to rescue Bud Light's brand from his frat guy party image by paying chits with dits to be more inclusive. Yeah, like I said, Dylan Mulvaney is a fully intact male. Listen to this, guys.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men. And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work. And we had this hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of fratty, kind of out of touch humor. And it was really important that we had another approach.
Wow. She just told you right there, guys. They don't want you. They do not want you. Now, she said she called it a frat boy image. Nothing wrong with frat boys. Guess what? When you're actually in your 20s, guess what? You're going to go out to clubs. And I'm willing to bet, a lot of younger young men, 20, 25 years old, they're the ones that's probably going to clubs all the time. I used to do it myself. And of course, you go out there, you have some beers and stuff at the club. Now, I really don't go out to clubs anymore, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you already heard the buzzwords there. Representation and inclusivity. Yeah. Because everybody was just dying to actually have Dylan Mulvaney being sponsored by Woke Light. Nobody was asking for that. Now, why didn't you actually just go out there and just get an actual female? Like if you wanted females to actually go out there and buy beers, why didn't you actually get a female? Why did you actually have to go out there and get a biological male dressed up as a woman? Why did you have to do that? I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of women out there that you could have actually signed to an endorsement contract, made a deal, a partnership. But no. But this isn't the first time that companies did this. Now, of course, Dylan Mulvaney has been in the news for a while now. That's probably why they actually did this. They wanted to jump on to this bandwagon because Dylan Mulvaney has been out there at the White House with Beijing Biden. He's been everywhere. So they jumped onto this. But this is not the first time that a company has done something like this and went woke. Guys, you remember Gillette? Gillette used to have the slogan, "The best a man can get." Now, this is actually right here before George Floyd. This is from May 29th of 2019. New Gillette ad shows dad teaching transgender son how to shave. I remember that, guys. I actually used to have Gillette. And I remember actually doing a video. I believe it was, I don't remember the exact channel I put it on. But I did it. And I never, ever bought Gillette again. They're out there promoting this stuff. They're alienating their target audience here. It was the best a man can get. The best a man can get. And they go out there and they get a biological woman. I mean, come on. Come on. This is wokeness run amok right here. I mean, this is crazy. I'm not even going to play the ad right there. But look at this here. It says Gillette's new commercial, which is 3 years old now, 4 years old. Man, time's flying. It's breaking new ground. and earning both plaudits and condemnation by depicting a father showing his transgender son how to shave. It's the latest ad from the razor company that seeks to redefine masculinity. You see what I'm talking about, guys? Right there. They want to redefine masculinity because they believe that regular men, being men, they believe that's toxic. So that's why Gillette actually pushed a female, because that female has no masculinity. This is why they're actually pushing Dylan Mulvaney in woke light, because Dylan Mulvaney is a very, very femme man. I mean, even before the transition, Dylan Mulvaney was pretty flamboyant. But if you are a regular man that likes to take charge, be an alpha male, they call that toxic right there. This is what these companies have been doing for a while. Now, another thing also, guys, you guys remember this? The woke military ads. I remember this. I actually did videos on this. I was in the Navy, guys. And there's actually women in the Navy, no doubt about it. But the target of the military is going to be mostly men. And countries like China and Russia, they had commercials put out. Boy, it motivated you to like, man, I definitely want to go and join the military. I remember when I went into the Navy had the slogan, "Let the journey begin." And it was ships actually shooting stuff, blowing up stuff. It looked pretty cool. Remember the Marines commercials, the few, the proud, the Marines? The Army, what was their slogan back in the day? Be all you can be. And then in, what was this here? 2021. This is what they were pushing. Lesbian moms. They weren't talking about anything to do with the military. This is what they were actually pushing right here. And they got crushed for it. The Calling. This was what, Emma, The Calling. And it had nothing to do with actually being ready for warfare. They were pushing propaganda in this. So you see her right there in her uniform, and that's really about it right there. Then it goes into all this other stuff, then wokeness right there. Two moms getting quote unquote married. This is the kind of stuff they were actually pushing. It didn't really influence anybody to join the military because the military got woke. General Mark Milley, remember, he said he wanted to understand white rage after George Floyd. This man's in charge of the military. He's woke. He needs to be fired. If we don't stop this woke movement, folks, China and Russia, they're going to be running all over us. There's a reason, guys, why Vladimir Putin actually invaded Ukraine. I'm pretty sure he actually sat back and said, you know what? They got Joe Biden in office. And they're pushing woke propaganda. Also, their Afghanistan withdrawal, pretty bad. Pretty bad. You know what? It's time for me to make my move. And China sees the same thing. They're like, all right, let's go ahead and test the waters on Taiwan. And now there's some other stuff I believe going on now. Maybe China's going to invade Taiwan. I don't know. But this is what happens when we have weak leadership, woke companies pushing this propaganda, trying to emasculate men. Our enemies will get stronger. We will get weaker. And there's no doubt about it, guys. We are definitely weaker. And they're trying to make us weaker because of stuff like this. This is utterly ridiculous right here. They hate men. They hate masculinity. The only men that they like is the ones without the masculinity. The ones that will actually bend the knee to feminism. They want femme men. They don't want real men. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.